Imagine building a company worth $47 billion without inventing a revolutionary technology, without manufacturing a single product, without even owning the buildings your business depended on. Sounds impossible. Yet for a few incredible years, investors believed this company would change the way humanity worked forever. Billionaires competed to invest. Employees left secure jobs to join what they believed was the future. The media praised its founder as a visionary. Some even compared him to Steve Jobs. But behind the inspiring speeches, luxurious offices, and billion-dollar investments, a dangerous reality was quietly growing. Then, almost overnight, $47 billion in value disappeared. This is the unbelievable rise and spectacular collapse of WeWork. Long before WeWork became one of the biggest startup disasters in history, its founder was simply an ambitious entrepreneur searching for an opportunity. Adam Neumann was born in Israel in 1979. Unlike many famous tech founders, he wasn't a software engineer. He didn't invent groundbreaking technology. He didn't build revolutionary hardware. What made him different was something far more powerful. He knew how to make people believe. Friends described him as energetic, charismatic, and incredibly persuasive. He had the rare ability to take an ordinary idea and make it sound like it would change the world. After moving to New York City, Adam noticed a growing problem. Thousands of freelancers, entrepreneurs, and small businesses needed affordable office space. Coffee shops were crowded and distracting. Traditional office leases were expensive, inflexible, and designed for large corporations. There was clearly an opportunity. But Adam didn't want to build another office rental company. He believed people weren't just looking for a desk. They were looking for a community, a place where entrepreneurs could work, meet investors, build friendships, and feel like they were part of something bigger. That simple idea became the foundation of WeWork. In 2010, Adam Neumann and his co-founder, Miguel McKelvey, officially launched the company. On paper, the business looked surprisingly simple. Lease large office buildings, redesign them into modern, stylish workspaces, then rent smaller offices and desks to freelancers, startups, and growing companies. The idea itself wasn't new. Shared office spaces had existed for years, but WeWork wasn't selling office space. It was selling a dream. Every location featured beautiful interiors, premium coffee, networking events, modern furniture, and an atmosphere that made people feel like they were walking into the future. Customers weren't just paying for a desk. They were paying to belong. That feeling became WeWork's most valuable product. And before long, some of the biggest investors in the world started paying attention. Little did they know, the biggest risks weren't visible in the beautiful offices. They were hidden deep inside the business itself. Within months, WeWork began attracting attention across New York. The offices looked nothing like traditional workplaces. Bright colors, open spaces, glass meeting rooms, free beer on tap, weekly networking events. It felt more like a luxury social club than an office building. People loved it. Startups wanted to be there. Freelancers wanted to be there. Even established companies started moving their teams into WeWork buildings. The company wasn't just renting desks, it had created a brand. And in the startup world, a powerful brand can sometimes be more valuable than the business itself. As demand grew, WeWork expanded at an incredible speed. One building became 5 became 20, then 50. Soon, the company was opening locations across the United States, then Europe, then Asia. It seemed unstoppable. Every new office created even more excitement. Investors believed they weren't looking at a real estate company. They believed they were witnessing the birth of the future of work. That single belief changed everything. Money started pouring in from some of the largest investment firms in the world. Every funding round pushed WeWork's valuation even higher. $1 billion, $5 billion, $10 billion, $20 billion, $30 billion. The numbers became almost unbelievable. But no investor was more important than SoftBank. Led by billionaire Masayoshi Son, SoftBank had created one of the largest technology investment funds in history. Son was famous for making enormous bets on companies he believed could dominate the future. When he met Adam Neumann, he was impressed. According to several reports, the meeting lasted less than an hour, but that was enough. Masayoshi-san believed Adam wasn't thinking big enough. Instead of encouraging caution, he encouraged even faster growth. Soon after, SoftBank invested billions of dollars into WeWork. It became one of the largest startup investments ever made. With billions sitting in the company's bank account, Adam Neumann believed nothing could stop them. The company expanded into city after city, sometimes signing long-term leases worth hundreds of millions of dollars before knowing if customers would actually fill the buildings. Growth became the only goal. Profit didn't matter. Efficiency didn't matter. As long as the valuation kept rising, everyone believed the strategy was working. Inside the company, spending became almost unlimited. Luxury private jets, extravagant parties, massive corporate events. Employees were treated to concerts and celebrations that looked more like music festivals than business meetings. To the outside world, WeWork looked like the perfect startup. A visionary founder, unlimited funding, global expansion, and a valuation approaching $47 billion. But behind the scenes, a financial time bomb was quietly ticking. No one realized that the same strategy that made WeWork famous would soon bring the entire company to the edge of collapse. From the outside, everything looked perfect. WeWork was opening new locations almost every week. The media celebrated Adam Neumann as one of the greatest entrepreneurs of his generation. Investors couldn't stop talking about the company's future. But inside the business, a completely different story was unfolding. The biggest problem was hidden in WeWork's business model. The company signed long-term leases that often lasted 10 to 15 years. Then it rented those same offices to customers on monthly agreements. At first, it seemed harmless. But there was one dangerous flaw. If customers left, WeWork still had to pay landlords for years. That meant the company carried enormous financial risk. As long as demand kept growing, no one noticed. But if growth slowed, everything could collapse. And there was another problem. Despite raising billions of dollars, WeWork wasn't making money. In fact, the faster it expanded, the more money it lost. Every new building required millions of dollars for renovations, furniture, technology, and marketing before generating meaningful revenue. Instead of slowing down, Adam pushed even harder. He believed growth would solve every problem. Soon, WeWork wasn't just renting offices anymore. The company launched new schools. It talked about building apartments. It planned gyms, banks, healthcare, even entire cities. Adam often described WeWork as a company whose mission was to elevate the world's consciousness. It sounded inspiring, but many investors struggled to understand what the business was actually becoming. Then, in 2019, everything changed. WeWork announced plans to become a publicly traded company. To do that, it had to release its financial information for the first time. For years, investors had trusted the vision. Now, the entire world could finally see the numbers. And what they found was shocking. Billions of dollars in losses, massive long-term financial obligations, complex ownership structures, conflicts of interest involving Adam Neumann. In some cases, Adam personally owned buildings that WeWork rented from him. He had also trademarked the word "we," then sold that trademark to WeWork for millions of dollars. Investors were stunned. Questions spread across Wall Street. Was this really a revolutionary technology company, or simply a real estate business losing enormous amounts of money? Within days, confidence began to disappear. The company that had once seemed unstoppable was suddenly fighting for survival, and the biggest collapse hadn't even begun yet. The IPO that was supposed to make history never happened. As investors studied WeWork's financial reports, confidence disappeared almost overnight. The company that had once been valued at $47 billion suddenly looked incredibly fragile. Analysts questioned almost every part of the business. The losses were massive. The spending was out of control. And the company's future depended on one thing: constant growth. But growth had finally started to slow. Within weeks, WeWork canceled its public offering. The market's message was clear. Investors were no longer buying the dream. They wanted a real business. The fallout was immediate. Adam Neumann was forced to step down as CEO. The man once celebrated as a visionary left the company he had built. Thousands of employees lost their jobs. Expansion projects were canceled. Offices were closed around the world. The company that had promised to reinvent work was now struggling just to survive. SoftBank, the investor that had poured billions into WeWork, stepped in with a rescue package to prevent the company from collapsing completely. But the damage had already been done. In less than a year, WeWork's valuation crashed from $47 billion to a tiny fraction of that amount. It became one of the biggest value destructions in startup history. Many people blamed Adam Neumann. Others blamed investors for believing the story without asking enough difficult questions. The truth was somewhere in the middle. Adam was a remarkable storyteller. He convinced some of the smartest investors on Earth to believe in a future that didn't exist yet. But great storytelling can never replace a sustainable business. A company cannot survive on vision alone. Eventually, reality always catches up. The rise and fall of WeWork left behind lessons that every entrepreneur, investor, and business owner should remember. Growth is exciting, but profitable growth is what truly matters. A powerful brand can attract customers. It can attract employees. It can even attract billions of dollars in investment. But if the fundamentals are weak, no amount of marketing can save the business forever. Today, WeWork still exists, but it is no longer the unstoppable company the world once admired. Its story serves as a reminder that the biggest companies don't usually fail because they dream too big. They fail because they mistake hype for reality. And perhaps the most expensive lesson of all is that building a billion-dollar valuation is much easier than building a billion-dollar business.